Hi guys, good evening. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. I know some of you guys say we can see you, Violet. I just wanted to make sure we start on time. So, it's just 9 p.m. right now. So welcome to another lunch actually weekly webinar. Actually now it's bi-weekly. So very happy to see all you guys here. I see some familiar faces and I see some new faces as well. So thank you so much for taking your Thursday evening to come join us. So it's definitely awesome to be here with you guys again. So how have you guys been? Let us know in the chat. Hi Deborah, hi Hess, hi Li Ping, hi Gordon, hi Mina. Wow, so many of you are saying hi here. Awesome. Hi Evelyn. Hi Daika. Good to see all of you here. Casey MC say it's been a tiring week. Has say hello Melinda. Yes. And then we have okay, I'm sorry, I cannot read your name. MSI who say hi from Indonesia. Hi Regina. Okay, so very awesome, like thanks for saying hi, and I love the energy here. So I've been doing, like I would say fairly well, have been very busy. And I think some of you know, like, especially if you have attended maybe our last two webinars, you know that we have been really been active on Clubhouse as well. So maybe some of you have even joined some of the rooms that we have hosted. So actually yesterday, together with Rose, Andrea, and Fiona, we actually did a room of like what happens, like when it comes to matchmaking. We did a behind the scenes for matchmaking on Clubhouse. So we actually did that room yesterday. And we're also looking to do more rooms in Clubhouse on dating and relationship topics. So if there's any topics that might be interesting for you, like feel free to let us know. We are happy to cover it here at the webinar or maybe even in Clubhouse as well. So if you guys are on Clubhouse, feel free to follow me. I'm my handle is the same, at Violet Lim. And we also have a lunch actually club in Clubhouse as well. So you can follow that. Okay, so tonight we have prepared one of the most highly requested topics, and I can see all of you guys have been tuning in so early today, like I was looking at the numbers, right? Like usually, like sometimes you will wait until like maybe the very end, like when it's almost going to be 9, or maybe some of you even wait until after 9 before you actually join us. But today I can see everybody is like super excited and everybody really came really early. So awesome. I think our speaker will be really happy to know that, everybody is anticipating to hear from her. Okay, so before I begin, I just want to find out from everyone, like which country you're from. Okay, so let us know which country are you from. I saw someone who said that they're from Indonesia just now. Okay, we have NU who's from Malaysia, Has from Malaysia, Daika Indonesia, Shafin Malaysia, Evelyn Singapore, Doris Indonesia, Anthony Singapore. Wow, everybody is like chiming in. Okay, so I see Malaysia, I see Indonesia, I see Singapore. Anybody from Hong Kong? Yes, any Hong Kong? Musu is from Gambia. Wow. Okay, anybody from Hong Kong or anybody from Thailand? Yeah, say hi to us. We would love to welcome you as well. No? Nobody from Hong Kong this time. Oh, Sutini from Thailand. Hello. And then we have Ida who's from Jakarta as well. Okay, maybe our Hong Kong friends tonight, they are a bit busy, so they are not able to join us. But if you're from Hong Kong, let us know. We want to welcome you. Okay, so I'm also going to launch a quick poll to find out where did you actually, like learn about our webinar. Okay, so let me just put it out. Okay, so you should see it right in front of you right now. How did you hear about this lunch actually webinar? Okay, so I think those of you who have been attending our webinars, you know that usually it's very interactive. There's a lot of things happening, and polling is definitely one of them. So we want to get you busy. I don't want to be the only person who is talking up here. So please do participate. Let us know, how do you know about this lunch actually webinar? Was it through our social media? Was it through our email? Was it through Dr. Marta's social media? Is it through PTX? Or is it just came across from Google or referred by a friend? Okay, so far we have about 65% of the room has already filled up this poll. So if you're not at 65%, come on, join us. Okay, so I can see that a number of you, I think most of you actually got to know about our webinar through our email. That's awesome. And of course, we also, the second highest is actually those of you who actually know about us from our social media as well. Awesome. So maybe you want to let me know, like the ones that say that you know about us from our social media, right? Is it through Facebook? Is it through IG? Like maybe you want to let us know in the chat right now. Let me know in the chat. Is it through the IG post? Is it through Facebook post? I'm not sure. I think maybe we do LinkedIn as well. Like, so yes, which social media did you actually hear about us from. Okay, so we have Jasmine who say Facebook. Yeah, anybody else like Jasmine who hear about us from Facebook, or is it IG? Yeah, let us know, let us know. Thank you. Okay, so if you are here for the first time, right? Okay, or the first time first those of us who are joining us for the first time, right? Newcomers, can you let me know in the chat as well? Maybe you just put like one. Okay, so if you're joining us for the first time, just put one. Okay, let me see who are all the ones in the room. Okay, so quite a number of you. We have NU, we have Anthony, Choi Hong, Sally, Sherinda, Anya, Mel. Wow, okay, quite a lot of you who have put ones. Vincent, Edmund, I'm sorry, quite a number of you, so I cannot read all your names. And we have Ida who say I've been here for more than 10 times. Awesome, Ida. Thanks for your support. And then Li Ping who said also know about us from Facebook as well. Okay, so if you are joining us for the first time, I just want to give you a very, very warm welcome. So like I mentioned, our webinar is designed to be interactive throughout the entire hour. You know, I'll be launching posts, which I just did, and also be asking for your input, you know, which I just did. So don't be shy to participate, you know, just feel free to type in the chat whenever you feel like it. I mean, I cannot guarantee I'll always read out whatever you have written, but then, you know, definitely if I see some interesting inputs or some interesting questions, I'll definitely pull it out as we go along during the webinar. Okay, and then we have, let me see, Daika who says it's also my first time. And then we have Hes who say lost count. Wow, yeah, Hes is definitely one of our wonderful supporters. You know, I've seen Hes a lot of times. Okay, so a little throwback, our webinar series actually started last April, which means next month is our first webinar anniversary day. So, you know, in the last year or so, we have over 40 English webinars, and we have also done many webinars in your local languages, you know, like for example, in Thai, in Bahasa Indonesia, and in Cantonese as well for all the various different communities. So we want to thank everybody for your support, your enthusiasm, and definitely my team and I, you know, so tonight I have Melinda with me, and I think a lot of you who have been attending our webinars, you'll be familiar with Christina as well, but Christina, unfortunately, she's busy. She couldn't join us tonight. So definitely, you know, my team and I will continue to work very hard to bring you more useful and exciting dating topics for our community here. Has say happy first anniversary in advance. Deborah say woohoo, applause. Okay, so before I continue, I just want to do a very quick introduction of myself and also of the company to all our newcomers. So I think, you know, as you can see, my name is Violet, and I'm also dressed in purple in case you forget my name. Okay, so my husband and I started this business about 17 years ago in Singapore. So, you know, that time I was working in a bank, and I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. And I was thinking, why is that so? You know, because bankers being bankers, they are, you know, eligible, attractive, they usually dress well, they carry themselves well. So I was quite curious, why is it that they're single? So I realized it's because they're all married to the bank. So when I came across the concept of lunch dating, I thought it's a great concept because I feel that it's something that my colleagues can definitely do, you know, despite their busy schedule. So that's the reason why I decided to quit my job then and start lunch actually. So of course, in the last 17 years, you know, we have done a lot of different things. We are currently in 5 different locations, you know, like of which all of you guys have mentioned like you're from. So Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. And we also have multiple products and services as well. So, you know, like we have face-to-face dating, we have dating app, we have coaching services. And I think most importantly, just want to share with you our matching philosophy. So I think a lot of times, you know, like if you were to ask your single friends, why are they single? Chances are they will say, because I've not met the right one. So a lot of people always think that, okay, meeting is the problem. I mean, of course, yes, I agree. Meeting is very important because if you don't meet anyone, then how are you going to find someone, right? But we realize that other than meeting, you know, like being the right one and choosing the right one is very important as well. So that's the reason why we have decided to, you know, like do date coaching, do image coaching, and of course doing our webinars as well, because we feel that this is a good opportunity to share more of our knowledge, our expertise, and also just, you know, like provide like this I would say education to all the singles out there, because we also really want to pay it forward as well and just help all our singles to become the best version of themselves. Yep. So of course, you know, like we do have matchmaking services where we arrange one-to-one dates, and I mentioned just now we also do date coaching and image coaching, and most recently we also have launched our lunch actually dating app. So our app is not like chatting app, like what you usually see. Actually, it's something that we have developed because we want to help, I would say, help to make it easier for our singers, be it to make an appointment to meet up with us, be it to, like check out their matches, to tell us when they are available for dates and things like that. So it's really, I would say, something to accompany our lunch actually services. Yes, so that's all from me about who we are and what we do. And of course, I think now it's very, very important. I really want to introduce to you, our speaker for tonight, because our topic tonight, right, is something that a lot of times, like, singers have come to us, clients have come to us, and sometimes people are a bit shy, like I'm not sure how to go about it. So we thought like, this is a topic that is very important, like we should really talk about it. But rather than, like us talking about it, we thought it's good, if we could invite someone who is, the expert in this field, someone who, knows exactly what she's talking about, someone who has worked with so many people, like to help so many people, be it through counseling and coaching. So I want to introduce to you guys Dr. Martha Tarali. Yay! Hi, Martha.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
yes, everybody, please give the lunch actually welcome to Martha. Please say hello. Say hello in the chat. Yes, welcome, Dr. Martha. Yes, so Martha is actually a relationship counselor, and she's also a clinical sexologist, and her company is called Eros Singapore. So I'm
Hero
very, very
coaching.
excited to have her here with us. I have heard so much about Dr. Martha, but I've never like had the opportunity to, like come face to face with her and talk to her. So I was so excited, like when my team invited Dr. Martha to be with us during this webinar. So just like how all of you are very excited, I'm also very excited to hear more about what Dr. Martha has to share with us. So Martha, maybe you can do a quick introduction of yourself and maybe also share how did you started doing, like what some people might think is like some a very interesting career.
Yes, thank you for having me. I think the PowerPoint is cut off, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's showing right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So how did I start doing what I do? Okay, I was at the crossroads of my career. I have a Bachelor of Arts Communication. So I was doing Corp Comms for 8 years, and I was at the crossroads of my life. I started a nonprofit which wasn't doing well. And so I was really rethinking what I wanted to do. So by the time I wanted to close down my nonprofit, helping young people in career guidance, being young people ourselves, I realized I was, because I was doing volunteer counseling, I realized I was actually good in counseling. So I wanted to do some form of counseling, helping profession, but I didn't want to do just the normal same old topic. So I was at the crossroads, and there was this spat of newspaper articles that came out in Singapore that actually made me quite furious. It was about rising teenage pregnancy and STI rates. And I was thinking, why is it that we always talk about sex in very negative ways? We don't talk about how amazing, wonderful it is. And even in magazines, it's always written in very cliche ways of how to keep the guy and things like that. And I felt it was really not talked about in meaningful ways, and also like how to really enhance relationships. So I went and got my doctorate in human sexuality. So I'm not a medical doctor. I have a academic degree in sexuality. And then after I started my practice, for very soon after, I realized that actually a lot of clients, they come to me because of the lack of sex or sexual difficulties, but actually they were having communication issues. The underlying reason why their partner doesn't want to have sex is because of toxic relationship. And so I wanted to become even more qualified. So I went and got my master's in counseling. So I have 4 degrees, and I have had career change in order to do what I do. And I've been doing this for 12 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Mata, for that introduction. Yeah, I was looking at the slide just now and I was like, wow, like you really have like gone to school for like a lot of different things and
Yes.
probably for a long time. But I think that definitely show, like your passion towards this. And I really hear you. And I think, like we have some of our participants who say like, wow, I really like where you're coming from as well. So today, Dr. Mata will be sharing with us, of course, about intimacy when it comes to dating and relationships, and also, why is it important, and also how to increase attraction towards the opposite gender. And also, I think, like recently I've been reading so many of these negative news, which is also practical tips to avoid sex predators, when it comes to dating on dating apps, or I mean, just anywhere. I mean, just not dating apps as well. Okay, so are you guys excited to hear more from Dr. Mata? Let us know. Say yes, 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 yes if you are. Okay, so all the yeses are coming in, like everybody's like super excited. Okay, so I think Martha, you can share with us like how do you actually define intimacy? Because I think when people talk about intimacy, like people think about different things. Some people will think about sex, some people will think about like maybe connection, or like I don't know. I think definitely different people have different definitions. So how would you define intimacy, and how important it is when you are dating or in a relationship?
Yes, intimacy to me just means closeness. So we can have physical intimacy, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's sex. A lot of times it's like a pseudo name for sex because they don't want to use the word sex. So physical intimacy can mean hugging and holding someone. Like this picture sitting on the couch, so they are having the physical intimacy. And if they are talking about things that makes them both feel very close and connected to each other and feeling vulnerable, they can have emotional intimacy. And mental intimacy is when maybe you discuss philosophy, you are doing a debate, and you start to feel very close to that person mentally. So that's mental intimacy. And then there's spiritual intimacy, when you sing in a choir, or you are in church or in the mosque praying together. That also brings you very close to the whole room, and that's a spiritual intimacy. So intimacy can be, to me, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
Wow, that's awesome. I think that's probably the best intimacy definition that I've ever come across. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I think, like what you have mentioned, is definitely like that closeness, be it, like you mentioned, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, really that closeness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it comes to being in a relationship, dating, really what we are looking for when we are dating and seeking a relationship, a romantic relationship, is that we are looking for somebody who has our back. So first of all, can the person and each other, can both persons be able to feel that they can understand each other. First, that is the foundation. And then through that, there will be little tests that will start to happen in a relationship. For instance, like, do they show up on time? Can they fulfill their promises that they make? And this is when trust will develop. So with more trust, then there will be more intimacy, there will be more opening up and more sharing, because you don't want to open up all of yourself to somebody who doesn't deserve your trust. So intimacy and trust comes hand in hand. And then with the intimacy and the closeness, then we become also more and more vulnerable.
Yep, I love that. Martha, I think like what you have described, right? One of the things that you say, which I caught on, is later tests that happen. Yeah, and I think this is something that we talk a lot, quite a lot during our webinars. I think sometimes, like some of the guys will say like, hey, I don't know, is that a test? What is happening? And then I think sometimes like guys, they are a bit blur, like and then for the girls, they always expect the guys to kind of have like sixth sense, or like ESP to kind of know like what to do during some of these tests. So do you have any advice, maybe either for the girls or the guys on like, I mean, like you say, these little tests do happen, and it's important for these little tests to happen as well, because you mentioned, it helps to develop trust, and trust needs to be developed for intimacy to happen, right? So, for some of the people who are sort of like getting a bit lost in all these little tests, what should they do?
I think the best thing is to just be honest and vulnerable. And yeah, they are called little tests. maybe they are called some other things in some other language. However, it's really about just being dependable and showing up and being a person of integrity and honesty. And this is what we are looking for when we are meeting someone, because it is important if you are going to count on somebody to have your back, to talk about thinking about marriage and having a family, then definitely you want someone who is dependable and who is somebody who shares similar values to you. So there are not just the physical attraction that you want to consider.
Got it. Thank you for that. Okay, so I think, like the next part, okay, after you mentioned that having the trust, like having the intimacy as well. So I think the next part of it is like, how can someone be more alluring, to maybe capture the attraction of the opposite gender?
Yes. So being alluring is very, very general, because all of us have very definite ideas of what is attractive. So when we want to attract someone, I feel it is about being the best version of yourself. So there's the outside in, and then there's the inside out. So the outside in is when you start to dress up and you feel good, and your happiness, your radiance will just come from the inside. So that's outside in. And then there are people who choose to work on themselves to go deeper into maybe like journaling or drawing or dancing, ways to kind of like to heal the inside, so that the inside will start to glow and reflect on the outside. So I whatever the way somebody prefers, whether it's the outside in or inside out, these are ways that we can start to become more alluring. When we are truly comfortable with ourselves, not just comfortable, but we actually also love ourselves. When we really, really love ourselves, I know it sounds cliche, because everybody says you need to love yourself before you can find someone to love you, or you can love somebody else. The reality is, when you really, really love yourself, you will not allow yourself to be bullied or blamed or abused. And so these are some very, very important fundamentals, because when you have strong integrity and boundaries, this is when the person will actually also unconsciously sense it. They will also respect you more in terms of the way they treat you. And this confidence, this also is related to how it affects you being alluring. So alluring is not just about like tips, tricks, techniques, not just about blusher and makeup. It is much, much more than that. It's much more than that. It is all part of it, but it's much more than that. So being alluring to me also means being comfortable with all sides of yourself, being comfortable with being the doer, where you need to work hard and achieve, and also the other part of yourself, which is able to be by yourself, to be reflective, to appreciate silence. So there is what we call for Chinese, the yin and yang that is inside us, to actually have a well-balanced self, and to really explore all facets of yourself, so that you have a lot of ease with yourself. So I'm not young, by the way. So having worked on myself for so many years, I realized that actually the more I am comfortable with myself, the more I heal my past and accept all facets of myself, I am actually able to better relate and communicate to all people. And that is because I don't have this tension within myself that I need to prove anything or I need to fight. The fact that I am relaxed allows other people to be relaxed. So when I'm relaxed and they are relaxed, then we are more likely to have a good time, whether it's just a conversation or a meeting. And that is very important. The ease that you have with yourself will also contribute to you being alluring.
Awesome. I love that answer. And I think, we have Deborah who says here, Dr. Mata looks young though. I totally agree. Like I'm not going to guess how old Dr. Mata is, but I totally agree she looks young. So if you like how she looks and you think she looks young, then you better be doing all the things that she has mentioned. Okay. So she has mentioned, she said the more comfortable, the more you heal yourself, the more you're able to accept all the different facets of yourself, then you're able to look young. So that is the secret to the fountain of youth. So now you all have learned it tonight. So other than talking about intimacy, we teach you all how to look young also. Okay. So I think, like Martha, you were talking just now, right? That No, alluring, definitely. I agree with you. There's like outside in, there's inside out. And I think sometimes when it comes to like maybe intimacy, talking about attraction and things like that, one of the things that come out sometimes is really about, like the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you feel that, for a lady, like maybe someone with a more feminine energy that would be more attractive or alluring, or maybe it doesn't really work like that, and it's not necessarily so.
Yes, it's a very, very important question and very sensitive. In the world of dating, that there are the terms masculine and feminine, and a lot of times, in general, a lot of women tend to be more feminine. A lot of men tend to be more masculine. But what happens when it's the opposite? What happens when a man is more feminine and a woman is more masculine? I think it really depends on what you value and the kind of relationship you want to have. So despite the way I look or sound, I actually consider myself quite masculine. And I had to embrace my feminine in order to be a more well-rounded person, so that depending on different situations and with different people, including my romantic partner, I can put on my feminine side or my masculine side. So the reality is just like having different tools in the toolbox. In different situations, you need to fight for your life. In certain situations, you need to be relaxed and gentle and alluring. And being comfortable with all aspects of yourself, including your masculine and feminine, is part of the arsenal of tools that we need. Because if you know that by being very direct with this person, you are going to get through the message better, then by all means be direct. However, if you try being direct with this person and it's not working, then you can try a more indirect approach. Instead of telling them what to do, you can invite them, you can ask them, you can let them know that this is what you think, and then you are leaving them the decision to them. So you are not so much of a nagging, you are not like telling them what to do, because you don't want to end up becoming their mother. So when it comes to you being the more alpha, more masculine person in a relationship, let's say you are the woman, and sometimes you have to look at your opposite, your partner, your intended love interest. Are they going to be able to accept who you are? So I like your video that you showed just now, Violet, where you talk about you were looking for a certain type of person, and you and your partner, your husband, was also looking for a certain type of person. And in reality, what you think you like may not be the best match for yourself.
Yes.
So when you are able to appreciate the different aspects of each other, for instance, like maybe Violet is more colorful and more outgoing, and looking for someone even more outgoing, then both of you may think that this is what you want, but in reality, your opposite would be somebody who actually supports you and calms you down. And so sometimes we need to figure out like by dating different kind of people, who we are and what actually is a better match for ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
that.
yes, I want to say it's true that a lot of men are not able to accept the women who are more on the masculine side. So this is when a lot of women are very disappointed in the choices of men out there, to be honest, because a lot of women are willing to work on themselves, and in general, like a lot of men are more complacent, and there are women who I have met who really are so disappointed with their partner. So before you marry the person, before you purchase the goods, better think carefully, think twice. That's why we talk about having small tests. And once you have decided, like, or you have already married this person, then a lot of marriage is about learning how to accept one another, to compromise and to negotiate, and also to continue to have the hope that people do actually change, and people can change, but don't expect them to change into a completely different person. There are certain aspects of us that we can definitely modify with awareness. And of course, when we talk about people can change, people can modify themselves, in my work as a counselor, it's very much about not forcing people to change when they are not willing to change. You cannot force someone to change when they are not willing to change. So no matter how much therapy, if they are very, very stubborn, and they are not willing to change, then it's very difficult. But if they are willing to sit down and really listen and have a discussion, actually a lot of my work is actually mediation and facilitation. I facilitate a discussion because a lot of times they are talking, but they are not talking. They are not talking over each other. They are not really listening because they may be very concerned about like being right or getting hurt. And so they may be interrupting their partners. So when they go to a counselor and we facilitate, a lot of times the message actually gets through much easier. And so unfortunately, and I wish more people understand that counselors don't just listen. Counselors actually do facilitate, we do support, and we do actually educate as well. So it is important to go to the right counselor with the right expertise for the issue that you have. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mata, for that.
Yeah, there's so many things I can share. I'm a bit.
Yeah, I know, and I mean definitely. I have referred people to you as well, and I have gotten very positive feedback from them. So I know, you know, definitely if you guys are looking, you know, for someone to help you work through some of the things, you know, like that Dr. Mata has mentioned, definitely, you know, she's a very good person to go to. And I really like the way that you mentioned, you know, like you feel that actually, even though people might see otherwise, you know, like maybe people look at you right now, they'll feel that your energy is maybe very feminine, but actually, you know, you know that yourself, actually you're more masculine. And I love how you say that you actually also embrace your femininity to be more well-rounded. I love that. Yes, because so, I think sometimes people kind of feel that, oh, you know, I'm like that, you know, I'm like that, lor. I'm masculine, no, I'm just like that, lor.
Yeah. So this is how you win all the debates, right? By saying I'm like that, lor. You accept me like that, lor. You knew what I was like. So why do you want me to change? The thing is, what drew you to the person originally is because you are opposites. But when iron sharpen iron, right? Of course, it begins to be tiring. So this is when both of you can soften each other, so that you can have a better and happier life. So by learning new skills, by adapting, by embracing things that you haven't had to try before. For instance, like me learning to embrace my feminine side didn't do me any harm. In fact, I became more well-rounded, and I consider it like different situations. I know what to do with different people, because ultimately in my job, it's not about me. It's about how I can use different approaches so that I can help my client. It's all about my client. So because of that, I think through my work, I have become more adaptable. And I think this doesn't need to be just, oh, you're not a counselor, so you don't have to do that. I think we should be smart enough to know we don't talk in the same way to our father, mother, sister, brother, cousin, boss, relative, neighbor. So why is it we cannot get it into our head that we should be also learning how to be an effective communicator with our partner?
Yeah, agree. Love it. Totally agree. Okay. Okay, I think, you know, definitely, I think, you know, Dr. Mata, you have lots to share on that point, but, you know, like we do want to cover a few different things. So actually the next point I want to talk to you about is definitely about online dating safety. You know, I think this is definitely a great, you know, a very important point right now, because a lot of people, you know, they are dating online. And like I say, it doesn't matter, like dating online, dating offline, whatever, right? I think the dating safety is very important. So, I mean, for example, right, like sometimes you may receive, you know, undesirable pictures or unwanted sexual comments, and then, you know, you might not really know how to handle that. So I think maybe before we get your take on that, right, Martha, I'm just going to do a quick poll to just hear from our participants right now and just see, you know, like, have you ever encountered sexual predators, or maybe undesirable pictures or unwanted sexual, you know, like content or comments, you know? Yes. Okay, so the numbers are coming in. We have like more than 30% of the room. Okay, guys, come on. We want to hear from you. Don't be shy. Anyway, it's anonymous, right? So we wouldn't know if your answer is yes or no. So yeah, keep those numbers coming in. Now half of the room has voted. Hey, the other half of you, don't be so lazy. Like, just click only. Okay, now we have 60%. Come on. We really want to hear from as many of you as possible, because I think this is something that's really important. Okay, not bad. Okay, now we are 60 plus. I think the answers probably wouldn't change too much from this point onwards. So the thing is, about 60% of the room say, oh, no, now it's less. Okay, 55% of the room say I've not. and 45% of the room say, yes, I have. Wow, that's quite a huge number. That's almost half, right? So I think, like definitely, Dr. Martha, maybe you can share with us some tips on how to maybe avoid all these, like sex predators, or maybe even when some of these things happen, like what should you do? Like how should you react? Like I think sometimes it's not just so much about what you should do, right? It's also that whole shock, or that, like, I didn't ask for this, like, why am I being harassed? And I think that you say it's also like the emotional as well. It's not so much just seeing it.
Yeah, it's okay. When we talk about sexual predators, is a term that sounds very scary. So I guess maybe we just narrow it a bit. So it can include people who are basically just out for sex. So they will just chat with you, and then they will try to bring the conversation to sex very quickly, and they may send you pictures that you didn't ask for. I'm very specifically saying dick pics so it's unsolicited dick pics. So this is very triggering, because it's quite offensive and it's disrespectful. So when I personally come across this kind of people, or when I know of people who come across this kind of people, I just tell them to immediately block this person. If I'm feeling strong that day, then I might tell the person what the person did was wrong and shouldn't have done this and shouldn't do this to anybody else. But it is not my responsibility to go around and teach people, even though I am a counselor, because I'm also a woman. So in my personal life, I don't feel that I need to go around teaching people, especially when it's taking out energy out of me, because it's like being drawn into another fight that I'm not ready for. And so what I do is I just block these people. So this is one way to block these people. And unfortunately, because a lot of people feel that they can get away with it, they are doing it behind a fake name. They are doing it behind some kind of screen. Maybe they don't even show their real name or identity. You're just chatting with them. You're just starting to chat with them. So yeah, it is very important to first take care of yourself and protect yourself. Know that you are now going into the world wide world. You are just literally opening the door and just walking down the streets, so anybody can be there. So be smart, be savvy, and just move on quickly. So it's a bit like and you can also energetically do this. Imagine like a dog, right? Accidentally somebody step on him or kick him, so then what the dog will immediately do is the dog will just shake it off. So I think we need to quickly shake it off, because otherwise it will affect our equilibrium, it will affect our energy. And when we are off center, maybe you will actually撒在别人身上, you will actually spill over onto other people. For instance, your bad mood and all that, and that will affect your energy, and that will ultimately affect you and your radiance and your being alluring, and also being able to move on to better things rather than stay in the negative.
Oh,
So
wow, I love that analogy. This is something I'm going to remember. Yeah, so I love that, and I think it also answers like the question that Yongling has just put up, right? How do you overcome from being too sensitive? Don't be sensitive,
yes,
like what
yeah,
Dr. Martha has just said,
yeah.
be like a dog, just shake it off.
Yeah.
Maybe now we can all practice shake it off.
So it
Yeah.
takes practice, okay? It takes practice,
Yes.
because actually I am a highly sensitive person. So over the
Yes.
years, I have learned many tools on how to
Yep.
let go of negative emotions more quickly.
Yep.
As you can imagine, I'm a counselor, so I do have a lot of clients who are coming to me with a lot of distress. They can be
Yes.
coming to cry and scream, and you never know what is going to happen during a session. So I
Yep.
really have to take care of my energy. So part of being able to handle the overwhelm of life is to be very gentle with yourself, to do the things that you need to do to feel good, and to learn healing techniques so that you can let go of stress, of negativity, of this kind of undesirable images, and all these more quickly, so that you can move on. So it's very easy to say just ignore. I think it's more than ignore. It's actually be able to shake it off and move on. And that takes a certain kind of resilience. And as you know, during this COVID time, actually a lot of people are breaking down because they didn't have the tools. And part of life challenges is when things happen, this is when people get going. So if you know that I'm not good in this, then go and learn how to be better at it. So once you have learned it, this becomes a life skill, and then you become stronger and stronger. And this is a skill that will actually support you for the rest of your life. So it's worthwhile to learn instead of saying, oh, I'm too sensitive, then just be scared or just continue to ignore. So learn skills, how to let go of overwhelm was very useful for me.
Thank you, Dr. Martha, for that. Okay, so we're going to jump right into Q&A, because I think, like there are lots of questions, and, I really want to make the best out of this hour, that we have with you, Dr. Martha. I'm so happy that you have, take out time from your schedule to join us. Okay, so quick ones, like, because there are so many questions, right? So like maybe we can just do like quick ones, then we can cover as many as we
Okay.
go about. Okay, so one from RG here. So can we actually talk about sexuality during dating?
Yes, you can, because this is the big part of understanding where your partner is at. For instance, if it clashes with your value of no sex before marriage, if you have someone who has had sex before marriage, how do you reconcile that? If that is a deal breaker, I think it is important to talk about sexuality before marriage in terms of, okay, let's say you don't mind being with somebody who is not a virgin, then how about their sexual health? Have they gone for check? What do they feel about safer sex practices like putting on condom? What are the reasons that they broke up? Was it because of sex, or the lack of sex, or too much sex, or painful sex? I think it's important to ask these questions because ultimately, I think for a lot of people who are in heterosexual relationships who plan to get married, is that they want to have a kid. So this is all part of understanding what kind of a partner you are dating, and whether you want to continue to date this person.
Thank you. Okay, we have another question here. Is there no future in the relationship if I don't find my date sexually attractive at all? Wow, I think this is a very good
Yes.
question.
Okay. So I sometimes ask this to my clients, and because I do work with clients who are in arranged marriages, and a lot of them come from India. So they are Indians from India in arranged marriages. And I used to have this thinking that arranged marriages are like really terrible thing to happen. However, I have also seen many arranged marriages because they enter the relationship with realistic expectations of like I really need to get to know this person, or this person is going to be my partner for the rest of my life, that I want to get to know them and I want to fall in love with them. I'm going to take my time to fall in love with them. So sexual attraction is something 可以培养的. You can cultivate it with intention. So for instance, like the way you dress, the way you look at each other, the way you tease each other, play with each other, is really about understanding what rocks your partner's boat. And so sexual attraction is something that 可以培养的. You can actually work on yourself to be more confident in your sexuality. For instance, like women who go for pole dancing classes, not only do you get stronger, but you actually learn how to appreciate your curves, so that when you're in the bedroom with your partner, or even outside of the bedroom, you begin to be more confident with your body and with your sexuality and how you present yourself. So these are certain things that actually when we work on ourselves, we can actually so-called improve, or we can evolve. And yet when you work on yourself and your partner doesn't, so this is when you need to talk and be honest with them. I just am not sexually attracted to you. I'm very sorry, and this is something that is important to me, and so I don't think I want to carry on. I think as a society, because we only know of love marriages. So we tend to think like this is the only model and this is the right way to be. In reality, a lot of long-term relationships, once they go past the honeymoon phase, they often fall out of attraction with one another. So when they fall out of attraction with one another, unfortunately, I get to see a lot of people saying things like, oh, I guess I'm not attracted to her anymore. It means that we are not meant to be. It means that we should get a divorce. And they don't actually take responsibility for the fact that love is a commitment, and sexual attraction is also something that can be nurtured. And so for people who are already at the start of the relationship and feeling no sexual attraction, then I think the fastest and the easiest thing is to move on.
Okay, I totally agree with you. I think pole dancing is a great way to help women to appreciate their curves. Yeah. So I think for ladies out there, if you have not tried that, do try out pole dancing. It is definitely a very good experience. Okay, another question here. What if I am very man? So I think this is from a lady. I'm very man and have problem finding a man who is more man than me. How do I
Yes.
balance myself?
Yes. So then I would say work on your feminine. Work on your feminine. So previously I consider myself quite masculine, even though I'm in a woman body. I feel like I'm so man also. So what happened was that I started to first I got angry. Why do I need to work on myself? Then the next thing was, well, what do I have to lose? By working on my feminine, I can be more of a well-rounder, and I can have like more tools in my arsenal or toolbox. So what I did was I did things that nurtured my feminine, like going into places that make me feel more relaxed and calm. Like for instance, in the park, doing activities that are more calming, like yoga, being around people that were not so serious. And I allow myself to be more playful. So this started to bring out more of the feminine side of myself. And over time, I would also tell myself like, why am I so serious? Why do I have to be so serious all the time? I can really enjoy being in my body and being born a woman, and also all the pleasures of life. So when I started to enjoy more and more things, small and big things in life, I then was able to be more comfortable with my feminine. So it's just like a costume. You put on different costume for different clothes for different occasions. It's the same thing. So when you start to take time to cultivate and nurture yourself, the way you look, the way you feel, the way you show up, the kind of people you attract will start to change. Yeah.
Nice, really like that. Okay, another question here from anonymous attendee. Okay, how long do you suggest we abstain from sex when we are getting to know someone?
Yeah, it depends on the person. It depends on the person. It has to be linked to your values and who you are and what you want to be. Don't do anything that you will regret. Okay, so I'm not here to tell everybody to have sex. That's not what I do. I don't do that. I actually support people with their sexuality. So I was actually very surprised when I started my practice 12 years ago, that I actually have so many clients who are actually virgins, both the woman and the man. And a lot of them, I thought they chose to abstain from sex before marriage because of religion. But actually, a lot of them said, no, we don't want to do it because we are Asians. We have Asian values. We brought up in a conservative family. I want to respect my parents. And also, there's no guarantee the person will not just use me for my body. So they are so scared that they actually wait till marriage. And it's not for me to say right or wrong. The reality is they came to me because they were having sexual difficulties, because they were disconnected from their sexuality and from their bodies. They don't know what is, some of my clients, they don't know what is masturbation. They don't know what is orgasm. They don't know how to have penetrative sex. They have never tried a lot of things. So the way their partner touch them doesn't feel good, and they don't know what to do. They are irritated and things like that. So the sex part, I think, is a personal decision and a choice. So there are clients who have sex like when they're engaged. There are clients who have sex only after marriage. I think this is something that you really need to ask yourself, so that when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't feel that you made a mistake. I think that's very important. Ultimately, no matter who does what in their lives, you need to face yourself. You need to be comfortable with yourself. So don't do anything that you will regret.
Yep, I think that's definitely the rule of thumb. I love that. Okay, another question here from another anonymous attendee. So, hi, Dr. Mata. Some guys have faces that don't appear masculine. So, does that affect attraction to ladies? So, I think that's a very good question, because one of the pet peeves of my husband, because sometimes like when I watch Korean dramas and he's like, what? Is that even a guy? So I don't know, like now actually with a lot of Korean dramas, like the guys, they actually look quite feminine rather than masculine,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
anyway, like what do you think about this question?
Yes. So I want to say, I think the definition of masculine can be quite different from different people, just like the definition of beauty can be quite different for different people. So beauty is the eyes of beholder. So what is masculine? Because I have lived long enough to also work with so many clients, that I actually started to meet so many 好男人, really I have met so many good guys that don't look like the typical alpha. They in fact are exactly what you said. Maybe they even look like a woman, in the sense that, you know, like a lot of Asians, they don't have much body hair. So that is also another thing that can put off some people. But when you really get to know their character and their behavior, it is definitely very, very masculine. They are very protective, very responsible, very take care of their family and their woman and their children. And that is something that if you just look on the outside and you don't really look at their character and their behavior, I think you really miss out on what is the real meaning of masculine.
I like that again. I think it's like, I think a lot of times, you know, we often sort of have a very fixed idea of like what one word mean, right? But I think like what you say is really looking beyond that. Like, okay, masculine is not just how the person look. It's also like how this person show up. Like, I think honestly, at the end of the day, we want someone who shows up and not just, you know, it's more about action than just looking the part. Totally agree with that. Okay, another question here. So what if I know that I'm not my partner's ideal type physically, but we are together because of our compatibility in other areas? What if my partner looks at others or looks elsewhere?
Okay, so it's just like, you know, I go window shopping, but I don't go and buy every dress that I want to buy, right? So it's just not possible. Okay, so I mean, joke aside, when it comes to the physical compatibility, there is a real reason why your partner is with you. And so if you can adapt your body in some ways so that it's more aligned to what your partner prefers, that a partner finds sexy or alluring, why not? Why not? So for instance, things that you can easily change is like, for instance, your hairstyle or your hair color or your dress sense, or even the perfume that you wear if they like certain things. Those that you can change, you change. Those that you cannot change, you have to let go of it and know that your partner is with you for a reason or for many reasons. And same likewise, you're also with them for many reasons. And in your bedroom, in your fantasy, you can be whatever body that you want. They can close eyes and you can be that person. Just have fun.
So ultimately, I think what you're also trying to say, it's like it's us lah. A lot of times it's really because of our self-confidence and self-esteem, right? That make us doubt. Like, but really, you know, like hold that space and know that, you know, there's a reason why our partner have chosen us. And like you say, it's like when in the bedroom, like anything goes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, another question here. Hi, Martha. I would like to ask how to build intimacy with women who are attractive but seem more superior than the men, like, you know, superior in her education, in her income, and sometimes just make the guys feel very anxious because, you know, like maybe the guy feel inferior.
I think your sense of self. Okay, so the thing is, what you value, will be the thing that maybe your stumbling block will be the stumbling block. For instance, I have 4 degrees. So people think that, wow, 4 degree, this person only can talk rod, this person only academic. However, I think we are multifaceted. People who don't know me don't realize that actually I have 4 degrees, but I'm also a highly sensitive person. I'm an empath, and I'm also a spiritual person, and I'm also this and also that. So the thing is, you may not have the academic qualifications, or you may not have the monetary income that your partner has, or maybe you earn less than your partner, and you feel that that is an issue. It will only be an issue if you think it's an issue, or it will only be an issue when it becomes an issue. So it may not be an issue with your partner, and you wouldn't want to be with someone who has an issue with your looks, your degree or no degree, or your earn a lot of money or no money. You wouldn't want to be with somebody who cannot accept you the way you are. So that's the whole point of dating. And you have to check with them lah. Is this really important to them? If they say it's not important and their behavior shows that it's really not important, and they're not going to bully you or punish you or discriminate you for that, then you shouldn't do this to yourself.
Yep, agree. Okay, another question here. How can one accept our imperfections better? So do you have any tips?
Yes, I have this mantra: do what you can, let go of the rest. Do what you can, let go of the rest. So just now, the body image thing, your partner prefers a certain body. Do what you can, let go of the rest. So I actually do tell this to myself a few years ago. I do tell myself, like, many times a day, like maybe like 100 times a day. So it has actually resulted in me being a more lighthearted person, and being more easygoing, and being more relaxed with life, because life is, for a very masculine person, life is like a race, but actually life is a journey. So there are times when I need to rest, there are times when I need to sleep, there are times I need to crawl, like these COVID times. No matter how hard I want to work, there are just certain things that is out of my control. So people who are very, very alpha, who are used to working hard and getting results, may find that sometimes working hard doesn't give you the results. So being comfortable with resting, being comfortable with letting go, is all going to help you. These are life skills that all of us need to learn.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So I think the next question I have for our participants tonight is, I think, Dr. Martha has answered many questions. And I know there are so many more questions that have come in, but unfortunately, we're not able to answer all of them. But I think with whatever Dr. Martha have shared tonight, right, I just want to hear from you guys, like, what is the most insightful thing that you have learned, or what is one thing that you're going to do today after hearing all this great advice from Dr. Martha? Because I think one of the things that I always say, like in our webinars, we are not here to just listen 1 year in and then another year out. I think we are really looking to apply something, to learn something, and to do something about it. So yes, so let us know in the chat right now. So what is the one thing that you have learned that is the most insightful, and you're going to do something about it today? Okay, so let us know. Okay, so all the answers are coming in. Okay, we have like just accept and let go, shake it off and move on. Yeah, I love that one. Shake it off and move on. Yeah, quite a number of people say shake it off. Be comfortable to let go, learn to shake it off. Do what you can, let go of the rest. Yes, the golden mantra that we have learned tonight. Find the feminine side of yourself and be well-rounded. Yes, love it. Another goal also say embrace my feminine, love yourself, change what you can and let go of the rest. True side of the men and women, know our values and boundaries. Wow, all the great answers are coming in right now. Awesome. Please keep it going. You are writing it not just for me, you're writing it for yourself as well, because I think research has really shown that when you write down something, you are more likely to do it. Okay, so I just want to share with you guys, we always have a special webinar gift. So tonight we do have a special webinar gift for you as well. It's actually an ebook, which is called, there you see it. So it's actually called how to build a real chemistry in dating. Okay, so if you like a copy of the ebook and also get a complimentary dating analysis session with our dating consultant or date coach, just go to the link that May is going to put up right now. So this is how you can claim your special webinar gift. And today is very special because other than our special webinar gift, Dr. Martha also has a giveaway. Yay! Okay, so you should see it right now. So the giveaway is all access to sugar and spice. So maybe Martha, you want to share a bit more about this? What is this about?
Yes, I'm very excited to talk about it. Sugar and Spice is happening next week in 5 days. It's March 23rd to the 27th. It's a virtual sex festival. It has 12 sessions, 30 presenters over 5 days. And so people think sex festival, we only talk about sex. No, we talk about different aspects of sexuality. We have somebody who's going to talk about TCM and sexuality, how TCM can help you. We have somebody answering the age-old question, is there such a thing called sex addict? We will have a vaginismus panel. This is for people with difficulties with having penetration. We have a being male panel. We have a sex illness and disability panel. So we have many different interesting sessions, including a movement session. So yes, I'm giving away 5 pairs of tickets.
Wow.
So the rest of you, please just go and buy a ticket, please.
Yeah, so all you need to do is just to follow Dr. Martha on Instagram and also follow Sugar and Spice Asia, and then I think tell them, I think DM you guys, right, on why you want to win a ticket. You must do it by March 20th, okay, and you might stand a chance to win the tickets to Sugar and Spice. So we are also having more webinars coming up. So if you want to sign up for upcoming webinars, you just need to go to lunchactually.com/webinar to sign up for our upcoming webinar, which is going to happen in 2 weeks' time. And also, I think some of you have been mentioning, you say, oh, I came in late and then I want to get a copy of the recording. Yes, so we do record all of our webinars, so not to worry. So you can always again go to lunchactually.com/webinar to get a copy copy of today's recorded session, just give us a couple of days before we put it up. And of course, if there's any other webinars that you want before that, like just request for it as well. And I think with that, I just want to say thank you so much to Dr. Martha for joining us tonight. Like, even though it's a really short hour, right? Like, I think it is so jam-packed. I mean, I personally have also learned so much, and I love so many of the things you say. And I think for me, definitely, I love that analogy, like just be like a dog, just shake it off. I really, really love it. So everybody, please do join me to thank Dr. Martha for spending
Thank
her
you
time
very
with us.
much. Thank you,
So just say
everybody.
thank you in the chat so she can feel your love and your support.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you again, Martha, for joining us, and I'd love to catch up with you one of these days. Like it's been so awesome meeting up with you today. So thank you for the work that you do. I think it's definitely very much needed. In something that sometimes a lot of people have a lot of difficulty talking about it, or there just seems to be like a taboo or something like that, right? So I think we really need you to continue to do the great work that you have been doing.
Thank you. I really I'm so happy to meet you.
Yes.
Finally.
Okay, you take care and you have a great evening.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.